Subscribe to Dr. Nightmare channel now.
The Bride Vanished. The Meghalaya Honeymoon Missing. Based on true events. They had just gotten married. Raja and Sonam Raghuvanshi were a young couple from Indore, India. Their wedding was simple, intimate, the kind of quiet ceremony where smiles outnumber noise. And yet, just 11 days after their wedding, only one of them would be found dead. The other would vanish without explanation. This isn't just a missing person case or a murder. This is a horror story. One that begins with a honeymoon in Meghalaya and ends in whispers no one dares to explain. Chapter 1: The Perfect Couple. Raja, 29, was a calm, intelligent man. He worked in IT, reliable, loved by family. Sonam, 25, was quiet, elegant, and often kept to herself. According to her social media, she had a taste for adventure and travel. On May 20th, 2025, they boarded a flight to Shillong for their honeymoon. Raja had never been to the Northeast before. Sonam, however, seemed oddly familiar with the area. She had booked everything: guest houses, transport, and even excursions without much input from him. Locals later said she moved like someone who already knew her way around. Chapter 2: The Last Check-In. They stayed at a homestay in Nong Riat, a small jungle village reachable only by foot, surrounded by waterfalls and the famous living root bridges. Tourists come there for peace, for beauty, but some say those bridges are sacred, that you don't cross them carelessly, especially during monsoon season. On the morning of May 23rd, the couple checked out. CCTV shows them leaving the homestay with a rented scooter. That was the last time they were seen together. Chapter 3: The Bridge and the Gorge. By the next day, their rented scooter was found abandoned near Soharim village, close to the cliffs above Way Saudorm waterfall, a deep, jagged gorge known for swallowing rain and sound. For days, the jungle remained silent. Locals said they heard things that night, that the forest grew louder than the rain, whispers without direction, footsteps that didn't belong to animals or humans. Then, on June 2nd, search teams found Raja's body at the bottom of the gorge, face disfigured, torso slashed open. A dao, a large machete, was recovered nearby, blood-stained and buried under leaves. Clothing, a raincoat, a wedding ring still on his finger, but no sign of Sonam. Chapter 4: Whispers of the Third Man. A local guide came forward a few days later. He claimed he saw the couple that day, but not alone. He said there were 3 other men with them, climbing up from the root bridges. No one knows their names. No one ever came back to report them missing. No tourists were booked on that trail that day. One of the men, he said, kept looking over his shoulder toward Raja, not with fear, but something else. Something colder. The guide didn't speak again after that. Chapter 5. The Bride Returns. On June 9th, nearly 2 weeks after her disappearance, Sonam was found. Not in Meghalaya, not in another state nearby, but in Ghazipur, Uttar Pradesh, almost 1,200 kilometers away. She was alone, alive, and silent. Police arrested her. She gave no resistance, not even when they accused her of something unthinkable, conspiring to kill her own husband. A secret affair, a murder plot, 3 hired men. That's the official story now. But some officers, they weren't so sure. Chapter 6. The Supernatural Thread. Here's where the horror begins to feel less human. When Sonam was questioned, she refused to explain how she survived. She claimed she had no memory of what happened after May 23rd, but a local Kasi elder who saw her the day before said something strange. She wasn't right, he told police, like something had taken her eyes. She looked at the jungle like it had called her name. A broken trail camera recovered near the gorge recorded something strange on the 23rd. At 5:14 p.m., heavy rainfall blurred the lens, but between thunder cracks, a sound was caught. It wasn't a scream. It was a whisper. And it said, in the Kasi tongue, "Balance must be kept." Chapter 7. The Bride Who Didn't Run. According to digital evidence, Raja's phone last pinged at 5:19 p.m. The location? Edge of the cliff. It disconnected seconds later. Sonam's phone was never recovered. But here's the part no one talks about. The guest house owner claimed Sonam asked 2 days before they disappeared about a place the spirits won't see. And according to a confidential police source, the recovered raincoat found at the scene didn't just have blood. It had long, claw-like tears on the back, not from a blade, not from an animal known to the region, as if something dragged him. Final chapter. No truth, only fear. The official report says Raja was murdered in a conspiracy, that Sonam fled and was found, that justice will be served. But those who've lived in the hills longer, they tell a different story. They say the jungle of Meghalaya doesn't like when promises are broken, that taking vows in the presence of the root bridges binds more than just hearts. Some believe Sonam never returned, that what walked out of that forest wasn't the same person who went in. And sometimes, late at night, hikers swear they hear a woman crying under the bridge even when no one's there, always followed by the rustle of leaves and the sound of a machete being dragged across stone.